Yo, what's going on, YouTubes and the internet? I'm back with another video. Gonna do some fishing. Gonna kinda talk through some things that I've been feeling. Um, just need to get some things off of my chest and kind of, I guess, find some resolve in things. So I'm gonna go try and find a good fishing spot. I think I got one in mind, but we'll find out. But I didn't look at the last video I uploaded, but I think it's been a couple 4 or 5 months since the last time I uploaded anything. And hopefully we can change that. So. But kind of back to what I was kind of talking about was, it's been difficult, I guess, in terms of just kind of going about things. Still kind of dealing with the shame and guilt of things of habits I've been doing, of things I've been doing. And it kind of just has been taking its toll on me, like this slow kind of, like, and I don't want to say burning, but like this slow, like drain, almost like draining, like thing. And it's kind of affecting my motivation, I feel like, and it's affecting like trying to like pursue my passions and my dreams. So, and I haven't really figured out a way to kind of like figure that out, how to like overcome this thing. And I find that it just gets worse, every time I like think I have a grasp on it, and then I slip and fall, and I feel like it just is worse when that happens. But then I kind of have to remind myself that at least you like tried. At least I'm trying to change. And I may not know when I'm going to change, when I'm going to put it to rest. I may never put it to rest. I may never get over this hump. And that's it is what it is. If that happens, there's no, like, I tried, right? And then, sometimes I'll have, like, thoughts of just, like, crazy thoughts. Sometimes I'll think, like, maybe I should just end it all. Just get, just, why go on? Why continue to live in this kind of, like, this shame and this, like, defeat? But that's stupid. It's a stupid idea. And every time I think about it, I just like, why am I even thinking of this? No, I'm not gonna do it. That's just stupid. I'm not gonna be a coward like that. Sometimes I think, like the alternate to that would be kind of running away and just like living on the streets. And that proves to be more rational. Can you cook this? Nope. Because, when I look around at the world and I see, and even in myself, I just see distraction, I scroll all the time, just like these useless videos of just bombardment of stuff. I go all around and I see all these people, and it just seems like, to me, like, all these people around me are just like putting on this like performance. And sometimes I think I'm the problem. And I do have my flaws. I'm not perfect, you know. But these people, they just connect in ways that I don't see myself connecting with. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's just like, I don't want to have to putting on a performance and kind of just having like a dumb, meaningless conversation, to me, is just tiring. And it's just, I don't care. And I find myself that I don't really have much connection with anybody. Like, I don't have the same passions with like a lot of these people. Like sports, I really only care about one sports team, like I'm deeply invested in. Cars, I'm not into cars. I don't know anything about cars. I could be into video games, but I like video games, obviously, and I like books and things, but I'm not into cars. I'm not into sports like that. I'm not into comic books. I'm not into movies like that. I love movies, obviously, but I'm not into all that. And people, like, some people base like their whole persona on movies. It's like, have you seen this movie? You seen this movie? You seen this movie? It's like, dude, no. Like, you're naming a movie that came out 20 years before I was even alive, and it's not even a block, like a Hollywood hit, like a blockbuster hit. It's like some niche freaking movie that like only people of that genre of movie would ever see. And, politics, I don't care about politics. I think all that stuff's just a scam, and it's just, you know, in this country now, it's just all division, and it's just comedy. They've turned politics into like a comedy show almost. And that to me is kind of like low key scary. Like okay, we're going for bits, and we're clip farming in World Decisions, we're clip farming World War III. Like what? Bro, is nobody else concerned about this? And people, and a lot of my coworkers are like, "Oh, Trump, Trump, Trump," and it's like, dude, I mean, all this guy does, like, it just seems like all negative shit. And they're always so mean too. They always dog in on like Democrats. Is what I've noticed. Like they're not they'll never say anything bad about their party. It's always the other party's fault. It's like the Democrats are saying the same thing about the Republicans. Republicans say about the same thing there. It's like it's just all useless and meaningless to talk about those things. So I just don't say anything. I don't say anything when I know nothing about it. And it's just hard not to go on a rant from things. I had to get off the topic of like shame and guilt. It's just too much right now. And then the other thing is, dealing with, you know, rats. With like my coworkers and things. My one coworker that I have, who like wants me to talk to him, and it's like, dude, I don't really want that relationship. You're 20, 25 years older than me, a wife and kid, like I don't really want that personal relationship with you, dude. And, there's the mask. He's like the perfect example of a mask. He always asks me how my weekend is, and I know he's being polite. But it's like, dude, you don't care. So stop asking. You would have literally, like, had I answered you, I always just say, not much. It was alright. That's it. I've said that the past, like, 4 weeks, I swear. And I don't ask him how his weekend is, but he feels obligated to tell me how his weekend went. It's like, dude, I don't care. Like you got a wife and kid, bro. I know you're doing stuff. You got housework to do. I don't really have that. You know? Don't tell me how your kid's doing either. You know? I feel like there was a time there where he just kept talking about his kid. Like, dude. Like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like, I don't have a kid. He's having, like, daddy-daughter issues, and he's, like, we're having therapy sessions in the truck. It's like, bro, what are you even saying right now? Why are you talking to me about this? I don't have a kid. I'm 24 years old. I don't even have a thought of a kid. What do you want me to say? And so it's just like awkward. So I try to keep it just like professional. Which is the other thing that kind of gets me kind of riled up is I'm at the point where like I know a lot of things, like I know the basics and like a lot more than that. And it's just like I feel like he's still in the stage of just trying to like not micromanage, but he wants to keep teaching me. Like he's holding on to that kind of. I feel like he's still got the training wheels on, kind of, in a way. And he's not hovering over me, or he's not consistently doing anything, but it's just like little comments here and there where it's like, dude, it. At this point, it's like, if it's not something that is like huge, like I made like a huge mistake, it's like, why even like say anything, you know? And that's one thing I've learned in this trade is like, there's 10 ways to do something and you're doing 11 of them wrong in the other person's eye. You know? And so it's, and I don't necessarily want to critique that, but it can just be like annoying where I just kind of want him to, like the other day I was kind of working on something and we both discussed like the plan together. And I thought we had a plan, but he went away and I just kind of started to work on this thing. And he comes back and he just keeps asking like questions, and I don't know. I kind of would wanted him to just kind of, just like sit back, just sit back, watch, observe, and see what I do. You know what I mean? And it's kind of hard to defend that because I know he just wants to make sure that things are going right. But at the same time, it's like, dude, just sit back. Kind of wait till I truly need you, you know? Because I did need his help later on, which eventually it didn't quite work out because the thing we had didn't work. And I don't know, I just kind of wanted him to just like sit back and wait, you know? I don't know if that probably makes no sense, but that's just how I felt. That's just how I wanted it, that kind of thing to go down. And I can't really critique him too much. And I'm not trying to critique him. It's just, you know, there's a certain degree of leadership. And I'm at the point now where I feel like, and I'll just keep letting him, but I don't need him to tell me every little detail. If he wants to give me details, maybe, and this is where I could tell him, like, yo, the next time we have a project like this, maybe he could just tell me, figure it out, come up with an idea, show it to me. Maybe I can give you some tips on that. He can critique it in his little way before I even do anything. That way, you know, he knows he's kind of teaching me that kind of aspect of the job. get a material list together, get a design plan together, get all this stuff together, show it to him. And then we can bounce ideas off each other. Because I feel like that's kind of where I'm headed with the job, is kind of being more towards on my own. But if I'm going to be on my own, I'm going to have to figure this stuff out on my own, right? And I don't know. It's just frustrating sometimes. It's frustrating. It's frustrating not knowing everything and wanting to know everything. That's like I think that's my toxic trait, honestly. That's one of my flaws. I want to know. I want to do my job like independently to some degree, but I don't have like all the pieces to that puzzle yet. It's just frustrating. And then it's like at the same time honing your craft, like doing like being good at it too. It's you know, and I'm doing stuff that's like kind of difficult, and I haven't done like a whole lot of it, but I've done some. I'm trying to get better at it, and then I don't know. The only thing I can do is just keep showing up, right? And the next time, something happens, maybe I can tell him, just be like, hey, dude, like, can I try and figure this out? Or something. I just need to communicate that kind of frustration to him. And maybe I just need to tell him, like, look, dude, like, I'm not really here for a personal relationship. If you want a personal relationship with me, you got to take that initiative and, like, kind of, you know, ask me to hang out outside of work. Other than that, you know, it's just workplace relationship. I mean, I feel like I can't be personal with him because I feel like I'm always being judged, which stems from the whole, the micromanaging and giving his input on minimal things. I feel like I'm always being judged at work by what I do, always being tested, always being, just watched. If that makes sense. So, and part of that's, me, myself putting pressure on myself, but perfectionist kind of thing, but the next time he like tries to talk to me about his daughter or something, I'm just gonna be like, dude, look, man, can you not really talk to me about your daughter, dude? It's kind of really awkward for me and kind of, like I don't know what to I don't know what to say whenever you talk to me about those things. And it's like sometimes it's partially I never know what to say in certain circumstances, and it's like sometimes I feel like he's just like talking out loud, getting his thoughts together, but like also talking to me, but it's like I don't know what to say. So I don't know. Just gonna have to figure it out one day and just be like, yo, dude, Shut the front door. Oh well, whatever. That we fished. We got absolutely nothing. Probably because, I mean, we're fishing in river, so. But, I think we're at, what, 25 minutes, so I think I'll just end it there. I mean, I do want to maybe, do some things in this world. I don't know what, but we'll figure something out. Anyways, peace.